That's really the gist of what this whole thing is about and why it had to happen right here. It was as if Elijah was saying, I'm going to take the fight right into the throat of this Baal worship. I'm coming up to his mountain where people think his power resides, and we're going to see who's really in charge. I'm standing in the Hippodrome here at Caesarea Maritima. This is a very important city in many respects because we have a lot of stories that pertain to it. In the book of Acts, we have the story about Peter. Peter was in Joppa and he had a vision. And it was through that he got the message clear that he was to come here. And it was here that he also opened the door up to the ministry of the Gentiles. Let me just say a little more about Nazareth. As you've already heard, it was a rather insignificant little community. Maybe about 10 families lived there. It's nonetheless where Jesus grew up. Jesus was a typical young Jewish boy growing up in town here. He went to Shabbat school. He learned how to read Hebrew. We know that because he read from the scroll. So Jesus would have come into the Galilee here. And this little area here along the Sea of Galilee, what's it, about 4 miles stretched there, across there, is where Jesus spent about 80% of his ministry. Most of his miracles that are recorded in the Gospels took place in those villages along the seashore there, along the Sea of Galilee. And so you're getting a really good view of that from here. You can see there's some fishing boats out there as well. If you really want to love like God, you need to love both your enemies and your friends. Hard to do, but it's what God does. And if we are going to claim to be the people of God, that's how we have to love. Otherwise, we don't have love like the Father. We don't have love like God. So when he says the Gentiles and the tax collectors work for the Romans. They're not easy people to love. In fact, you were probably taught to hate them. You know, the Romans, nope, you don't love them. Jesus is saying, yes, you have to love them. As you can see behind me is Mount Hermon. It's the place where the Transfiguration took place. In Jewish tradition, this is also the mountain where it is believed that the sons of God descended down onto the earth and initiated their rebellion against Yahweh. It was as if God was saying to those powers, here's my son, what are you going to do about it?